lecture we are going to discuss else-if ladder. In the last lecture we have discussed nested if, where execution of a condition was depending on the previous condition to be true. Now here in else-if ladder, that we can compare with the logical OR operator. As nested if we have compared with logical AND operator, here we can compare the else-if statement or the else-if ladder, you can say, with the logical OR operator. What we see in case of logical OR operator, if we have two conditions, and we merge these two conditions by logical OR operator, it means that if any of the condition is true, then the true statement block will be executed if any of this condition is true. That means, for example, condition 1 is true and condition 2 is false, then also the true statement block will execute, which was not possible in case of logical AND or as well as in case of nested if also. In case of nested if, both the condition has to be true, but here if any of the condition is true and the second condition is false, then the true statement block will also execute, and the true statement block will not execute only if both the conditions are false. That means condition 1 is false, condition 2 is false, then this true statement block will not at all execute. In all other cases, always the true statement block will execute. Now this way we can merge multiple conditions by using logical OR in a single if statement, and the same can be done using else if also. So what we do in case of else if, so first let us explain using the flowchart of else if. So this is the first condition that we have. Now this condition may be true, this condition may be false. So condition 2 we will check if condition 1 is false. Here we apply condition 2. But if you remember nested if, in case of nested if, we have applied the second condition if the previous condition is true. Here we are doing just opposite. We are applying the second condition if the previous condition is false. Now if condition 2 is true, we apply the third condition. And so on. In that way we can apply n number of conditions in one program. So basically what we are doing, condition 1, if condition 1 is false, we will check condition 2. If condition 2 is false, we go for condition 3. If condition 3 is false, we can go for condition 4, which is not exactly similar to the logical OR operator, but here you can see to execute condition 4, all the previous condition has to be false. Why I am saying that it is not exactly similar to the logical OR? Because in case of logical OR, if both the condition is false, C1 and C2, if both the condition is false, then ultimately it will be treated as false. But here, if both the condition is false, then the third condition will be verified. So from the flowchart, what we can summarize? From the flowchart, we can summarize that all the conditions will be verified if, or any condition will be verified if all previous conditions are false. That means C4 will be execute if C3 is false, and C3 will get execute if C2 is false, and C2 will get execute if C1 is false. Okay. C4, if I consider C3 as true, for example, C3 as true, then what will happen? It will execute in that path if C3 is true. So C1 is false, it will come to C2, C2 is false, then it will come to C3. But here C3 becomes true. So when C3 becomes true, C4 will not get executed because C4 is at the false statement block of C3. C4 is at the false statement block of C3. So C4 will not get executed. It will be redirected, or it will be directed towards this way where C4 is not belonging. That means if any of the previous condition become true, it will stop the chain. And if continuously we are getting false, then the chain will continue by checking the conditions. So it is just opposite of nested if statement. So how we can write it in programming language? What will be the syntax that we are going to see? Okay. So this is my first condition, and this is the true statement block of condition 1. This is the true statement block of condition 1. Now, when we are going to apply the second condition, if the previous condition is false, we are going to apply the second condition if the previous condition, that is condition 1, is false. That means condition 2 will come under the false statement block of condition 1. Condition 2 will come under the false statement block of condition 1. So this else, basically this else is the false statement block of condition 1. This else is the false statement block of condition 1. So within this we are going to apply the second condition. So it will come to the else. If the previous condition is false, it will come to the else, and here we are applying the second condition, that is else if condition 2. Condition 2. So when we are writing condition 2, then for this condition also we will get a true statement block and false statement block. Now we are inside the false statement block of condition 1. Now for this condition, this is our true statement block, and for this condition we get another false statement block, that is the else part. Okay, so this is the true statement block for condition 2, and this else, and in if else I have said that every else is related to the previous if. So this else is related to this if, and this else is related to this if. So this is the false statement block of this condition. This is the false statement block of this condition. Now condition 3 will be verified if condition 2 is also false. So here we are applying condition 3 at the false statement block of condition 2. So this is my condition 3 here we apply. Okay. And for this condition also again we will get a true statement block and we will get a false statement block. False statement block. Okay. So this is the true statement block for condition 3 and this is the false statement block for condition 3. So that is the flowchart of else if. So here you can apply another condition. In that way, in every else you can continue with the condition, and whenever no more condition you have to apply, we can stop the process there. So in that way we can apply n number of conditions within else part. That is a false statement block. That's why it is called the else if ladder. This is called the else if ladder. Now let us assume a program where we can apply this. For example, we have to find out grade of a student depending on the marks of the student. So let us first chalk out that what will be the grade depending on the marks. This is the marks and grade. So if marks of a student is between 90 to 100, so it is outstanding. If marks of a student is 80 to 89, then it is excellent. So we are writing E for excellent. If marks of a student is 70 to 79, then it will be average. 60 to 69, 50 to 59, 40 to 49, D, and less than 40 is fail. So this is the range, for example, we have considered. Okay. Now we have a variable m for marks. We have a variable m that holds the marks. So what we will do, we will check first that the value of m is within the range of 90 to 100 or not. We will check the value of m is within the range of 90 to 100 or not. So if the value of m is, for example, 95, the value of m is 95, that means 95 is within the range of 90 to 100. So the result will be outstanding. The result will be outstanding. And all these conditions we need not to check because already we have find out the result, find out the grade. That means if the condition, that is the first condition, that the value of 95, the value of 95 is greater than 90 and less than 100. So that is my first condition. So if the first condition is true, then the result will be outstanding, and the remaining conditions, that is 80 to 89, 7 to 17 and so on, these conditions we need not to check. So when we will check this condition, if the first condition is false, for example, the marks is 85. The marks is 85. So first I will check the first range, 90 to 100. So when it is false, when it is not true, then we go for the second range. Is it 80, between 80 to 89? If true, then excellent. Rest of the conditions we need not to check. If this is also false, then we will go for the second range. And if it is true, then the grade is A. And if this is also false, then we go for the next range. So that means where we are checking this condition, if the marks is not belonging to the previous range, we are going for this range if the marks is not belonging to the previous range. So 60 to 69, for example, if a marks that belongs to or that is in the range of 60 to 69, it means that marks is obviously not in the range of 70 to 79, as well as not in the range of 80 to 89, as also not in the range of 90 to 100. That means all these previous conditions are checked but false. Then it will check. So that means we have to execute the program by using else if. So whenever we are executing a program where we have to use decision making and branching statement, in that way, by using this analysis process, we can decide when we have to use this else if ladder. So now let us convert it into the form of flowchart. I am merging the condition here in that format. For if the marks is greater than equal to 90 and marks is if the marks is greater than equals to 90, that is also, that means it is 100 also. Then we can say the grade is O. The grade is O. But if it is false, then we will check if the marks is greater than 80 and less than 89 or not. Greater than 80 and less than 89 or not. Okay. If it is true, then we can say the grade is excellent. And if it is false, then we will go for the marks is greater than 70 and less than 79 or not. If it is true, then the grade will be A, and if it is false, then we will go for the next range, 60 to 69. Same way it will continue. So here you can see, if marks that I have taken the example, if marks is 95, if the value of marks is 95, so this condition will be true and it will print 95. This condition will be true, it will print 95. So this part, the false statement block, will not at all execute. So all the condition which is within the range of within the false statement block of condition 1 will not at all execute. And if it is 85, so the first condition will be false, that is the value of m is greater than 90 or not, greater than equal to 90 or not. So this condition will be false and it will come to the second condition. Now the second condition will be true, that means 85 is greater than 80 and less than 89, so it will print E. So this range or the following ranges will not at all be checked because this condition has become true. And if it is 75, then this condition will also become false and it will come to this condition. In that way, it will continue. If the previous condition is false, then it will go for the next condition and it will check the condition. If the condition is false, it will proceed to the next condition. Okay. So here all the conditions we are checking if the previous conditions are false. So how we can write it in the form of program? If marks is greater than equal to 90 and marks is less than equal to 100, okay, that means within the range of 90 to 100. So we can write, just we are following the syntax, printf, the grade is O, we can print the grade O, right? And if it is false, then else. If it is false, then it will come to the else, and when it will come to the else, it will check the second range. that the marks is greater than 80 and the marks is less than equal to 89 or not. Less than equal to 80. That means within the range of 80 to 89. So it will print if this is true. Because always we write the true statement first, then we write the false statement. So again it will else. So this else is related to this if. Okay. So if this condition is false, it will come to this else and check this if condition. If this condition is also false, then it will come to the else part. And here, by using if, we are applying the third condition, that marks is greater than equal to 70 and marks is less than equal to 79 or not. So if it is true, then it will print A, the grade. And if it is false, then we go for the next thing that we can apply by using if. So in that way we can continue with the conditions. In that way we will check all the conditions. So here I have written up to 70 to 79. Then here we will write 60 to 69. Then else by using LC 50 to 59. And finally else the marks is less than 40, so it will be failed, where we have to end the process. So by using this process or else if we can execute the program of gradation. That now I am going to show you through a program, that how we are going to execute in programming language.
So in this program we are going to discuss else if ladder, how we can use else if ladder to solve a particular problem. So in a very simple program I will discuss is, I have taken a variable m which we are providing the input at the runtime, and what we are going to basically do is, depending on the input we will print something. That means if my input is 1, it will print 1. If my input is 2, it will print 2. In that way I will show you up to 5. So the first condition that I have taken as an input. So first condition that we have to apply is, if the variable value m equals to 1. So that will be my first condition, and if it is true, then we will print one. Then we will print 1. Here is a terminator, but after if we never provide a terminator, because the statement followed by the if is depending on this condition. That's why here we are not providing any terminator after the if statement. Now if the first condition is true, then it will execute it. Else, so else will be executed if the previous condition, that is m equals to 1, if this condition is false, then it will come to the else. And here we are applying another condition, if m equals to 2 or not. So if m equals to 2, then I can copy and paste it here. So then we can print here 2. Right. Now again, if this condition is also false, then it will come to else. So this else, the previous else that we have written, this else is depending on the previous condition, which is m equals to 1, and this else is depending on the previous condition, m equals to 2. So basically the else which is depending on this if, and this if depending on the previous if. So that all the if are depending on its previous if. So here we apply another condition, that is else if m equals to 3, then it will print 3. And the next we are applying, if m equals to 4, then we will print 4 here. So as you can see, I am using multiple condition by using the else if. Now if it is 5, then we will print 5 here. In that way we can continue with more conditions. So here I am writing only 5 conditions to make the program simple. So as you can see that this is the first condition. This is the first condition. Now if this condition is true, this statement will get executed. So the program will not come to this else. As the program will not come to this else, so this if statement is also not going to be executed. That means the following all the if statement will be skipped if the first condition is true. And this if condition only will be verified if the condition that we applied here, m equals to 1, if this condition is false, then only it will come to the else and verify this condition. Similarly, this condition will be verified if the previous condition, that is m equals to 2, if this condition is false, then it will come to the else and then this condition will be applied. So all the if condition will be applied or will be tested if its previous condition is false. M equal to 5, that will be verified if the previous condition m equals to 4 is false. Similarly, m equals to 4 will be verified if its previous condition, that is m equals to 3, is also false. So in that way we can write, and the last we can write only else. If we are not applying any condition here, we can write only else printf no output, for example I am printing here. So here we are not applying any condition. So here the value of m is within 1 to 5, we will get the output, and if the value of m is not within the range of 1 to 5, we are not getting any output, no output will be there. So that's why here we are not applying any condition. We may apply, we may not apply, that is depending. At the last else, it may hold some condition, it may not hold some condition. So let us run the program and see what output we are getting here. So if I enter a number 1, so let us see, we are getting 1 as a output. Now let us test with some other value. If I enter 5, the last one, so we are getting 5 here. So when it is 5, when the value of m is 5, this condition is false, so it will come here. This condition is also false, so it will come to the else and apply the condition. This condition is false, so it will come to its else and apply this condition. This condition is also false, so it will again come to the else and apply this condition, which is true now, so it will be print 5. And when we are applying a value which is not within the range of 1 to 5, I apply 8 for example, so it is printing no output. That means if the value is not within the range of 1 to 5, it is printing no output. So that is the way how we are executing the else if statement, else if ladder, to solve a particular problem. Here we have already I have written the program. We have another example through which we can find out the grade of a student, that already we have discussed in the class, that if the marks is within the range of 90 to 100, it will be O, 80 to 89, it will be E. So in that way you can see we have applied all the conditions. The first condition we have applied, two conditions we have marked with the logical AND operator, that is m, the value of the marks is greater than equal to 90 and less than equal to 100, then it will be O. So if a marks we have 95 or 96, that means within this range, then rest of the conditions we need not to verify. We need not to verify. So that's why if the first condition is true, so this else will not execute, and if this else is not execute, all the following if and else will not get execute. Similarly, if a marks range between 82 to 89, then all the following conditions we need not to verify because the grade is already E. So if this condition is true, then the control of the program will never come to this else, and all the following if statements will not get executed. So let us see, run the program and see what output we are getting here also. So it is asking for the marks. So let us enter a marks, that is 94. So the output what we should get is O, right? So here you can see 94, that means the marks is coming within this range, so the first condition will be true. The first condition will be true, it will print grade O, and all other printf statement are not being executed because as this condition is already true, so others condition are not at all verified. Now let us check with another instance. 67 I consider. So for 67 you can see the range is this 60 to 69. So the grade is B, we are getting grade B as output. So for the value of 67 what happens? First we will check this condition. Condition number 1, 90 to 100. The condition is false. So if the condition is false, it will come to its else part. And after coming to the else, it will apply the second condition. And this condition is also false, range 80 to 89. So as this condition is false, it will come to the next else and apply this condition. So this condition is also false, so it will come to the next else and apply the condition. Now this condition is true. So as this condition is true, so the printf statement get executed. And as this condition has already become true, so the remaining else if is need not to be executed. In that way it is basically executing the else if. So, and let us see the last instance where the marks is less than 40, 32 let us consider. So it should print fail and we are getting that. So for 32 all the condition is false, so the last else will be verified. So here you can see whatever value we are entering for the aim, it will start verifying the condition from the first one, and if the first condition is false, it will go to the second condition. If the second is false, then it will go to the third condition. In that way it will check all the condition until any of this condition becomes true, and if any of the condition is not true, it will directly come to the else and execute it. And in the meantime, if any of this condition that we have applied here, if any of the condition becomes true, then it will perform the task and stop checking the condition there. Rest of the condition it will not at all verify. So that is the way how we write the program using else if letter, and that is the way how the compiler executes the program.